Hello lovely dancers, my name is Aisha and welcome back to belly dance tutorials. Today we're gonna do something more advanced, something that people ask me about. It takes a lot of practice and it takes the knowledge of the technique. So we're gonna talk about the belly flutters. This is something that it's pretty difficult to achieve to begin with. And there are several factors to take into consideration. First of all is your ability to control the rib cage motion and the diaphragm muscle motion. One important factor in this movement is the ability to let the abdominal muscles relaxed. This is a play between contraction and relaxation. We are contracting the ribcage muscles, the diaphragm muscles, but we have to keep our abdominal muscles very relaxed. Our abdomen has to be soft and loose. It has to be loose, pretty much. So that's why the movement can be visible on different body types, because every person is able to control more or less one of these factors. So let's talk about abdominal vacuum. You probably heard the term before. Abdominal vacuum is used not only by dancers or belly dancers, but by people in the fitness industry. A lot of time bodybuilders use abdominal vacuum to enhance their, to reduce their waist and to make some of the muscles more visible. So they do use this technique. And in our case, we use this to create a belly flutter and also for other types of chest movements. I'm gonna show it to you first, and I'm gonna get a little closer for this for now. All right, so it's a movement that happens in the upper area of the abdomen. It's in this triangle. Yeah, this triangle. The rib cage go up in a inverse V, and this movement happens in this V area, so it's not lower. Now let's talk about the abdominal vacuum and how to achieve that. A lot of time people explain it as working with your diaphragm. There are so many tutorials on YouTube and elsewhere, and most of the time the explanation is that you have to lift your diaphragm to create this negative pressure in the abdominal area. But the thing with that is that we don't have a lot of control over the diaphragm. There are no sensitive nerves, so we don't know what our diaphragm is actually doing. But we have control over the rib cage muscles. And actually by controlling the rib cage muscles, we control the diaphragm. So don't worry about the diaphragm right now, because it's very hard to find it. And if you focus on that, you will never understand the technique for this. So focus on the rib cage. And what we're trying to achieve is a flare out of the rib cage. So that's the first step. You inhale, so you flare out, especially the lower part of the ribs, and all of a sudden you have a hollow here, which we want to achieve. So that's not hard to do. So just put your hands here on the sides of the rib cage and inhale. That's all we want to do. So this is relaxed position. This is expanded position. Second thing that has to happen is to close your throat. The vocal cords that have a role in speaking. the vocal cords move with the airflow, and that allows us to speak. But for this technique, you really have to close the vocal cords. It's like when you have a hiccup, yeah? So you try to inhale, but your throat is closed. So the vocal cords are closed, so there is no air coming in. So as you flare out the rib cage and you close your vocal cords, you create this negative pressure in the abdominal area because your rib cage expands, and then it pulls up the diaphragm, it pulls up the abdominal cavity, but there is no air going in. So we create this imbalance of pressure, and then the effect of that is that the upper part of your abdomen is sucked in. Yes? So we keep our glottis, or the throat, closed. When I do that, I'm not able to talk because my vocal cords are not working at all. They are just stuck together here. So when you do a belly flutter, you are not able to talk. And that's how you know that you make it correctly. So, and when I create this negative pressure, also this area here goes in, all this soft tissue around the collarbones, they get sucked in by the negative pressure, and you'll see a hollow here as well. So let's try that again. See? When I do that, I cannot talk. Negative area here, negative pressure here. One more time. Yeah. So it's like a big inhale where you don't actually get any air in because your throat is closed. As I said before, it's like when you do a hiccup. Yeah, that's pretty much the same mechanism. Okay, I hope we have that part cleared out. Second part is to keep the abdomen loose and relaxed, and that's actually pretty hard. For me, at least, this is harder than creating the abdominal vacuum because as we dance, we keep this part pretty contracted and firm, right? It helps us, the core engagement helps us with the balance, of course, with executing the movements and all that. And then all of a sudden, in the middle of the dance, you have to let it go and let the abdomen hang out. And it's very hard to create this switch, from contraction to relaxation. You really have to let it go, let it hang out. So it takes practice. It takes practice not only to create a negative pressure, to create this indentation here, but also to let the abdomen loose and relaxed. The only area that is working actually is the rib cage. It's expanding the rib cage is the intercostal muscles and the diaphragm. So, abdomen relaxed. So I'm creating negative pressure and letting the abdomen relaxed. Now, so that's about the negative pressure, abdominal vacuum, expansion of the rib cage, relaxation of the abdominal muscles. But now you have to create this saccadation, if that's a word. You have to do this rib cage contraction on and off. So it's a pulsing movement. So I cannot talk when I do that. So you have to control your rib cage muscles or your diaphragm if you want to, so that we contract and relax at a rhythmic pace, and that's what it creates the flutter in this area. So I'll try to do it. Okay, a little closer. So I'll explain, but then I cannot talk after that. So I have to create the negative pressure, create this indentation here, and let the abdomen loose, and repeat this movement here in this upper abdominal area fast in a rhythmic pace. So it's going to be on and off, on and off. So there are no abdominal muscles involved in this. You can actually cheat with that. So you can obtain a similar effect. You can create a similar movement by rhythmically contracting your abdominal muscles like that, very fast. But you see, I can talk. When I do that, I can talk because I'm not closing my throat, and this is just a muscular movement, but it's different than these muscles, abdominal muscles. One more time, and belly flutter. I get tired when I do that, so it's really a tiring exercise. So if you want to practice it, I probably recommend about 10 minutes at a time, because once your muscles are fatigued, you won't be able to obtain any results. So it's just a waste of time to go on and on and on when your muscles really don't want to do it anymore. Other things about this movement, because we have to hold our breath when we do it, I recommend to incorporate this movement in the beginning of a set or in the beginning of a dance, because toward the end we're gonna be very tired and we will need to have deep breaths. So we have to inhale a lot toward the end of a dance since we need more oxygen. And it's very difficult and tiring to try to hold your breath toward the end of a song, which I do have a drum solo, and all these belly flutters come toward the end of the song, and it's really hard to do it at that point. Now, one more thing, and I'll finish after that. Some people say that you have to inhale and then exhale, and then start your belly flutter. So inhale and then exhale all the air out, and then start your... I think that depends. For me, I don't have to exhale all the way. I like to inhale, exhale a little bit, but still keep some air in my lungs. And I think for me it's the same result, whether I exhale the whole air that I have in my lungs or only a little bit. You have to really play with that and see what works with you. So try. Some people say just inhale and hold it there. So that's maybe something that may work for some of you, so just try it. As I said, it is an advanced movement. It takes a while to get control over the ribcage muscles or diaphragm, which again, I think the diaphragm is only a secondary movement, and it's actually pulled up by the ribcage muscles. Anyway, some people may have more control over their own diaphragm. You can think it that way if that works for you. Just keep practicing, and it takes a long time until you are able to master it. It takes several weeks maybe just to understand the technique, but it takes probably years to actually make it big and consistent and whenever you want to without any preparation. So yeah, that's what I had for today. Hope you liked it. If you liked it, please give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to my channel for more videos like this. And let me know if you have any comments, suggestions, or any topics that you would like me to discuss. And if I know about it, I'll be happy to do it. All right, bye-bye and shimmy shimmy.